for the protection of the Chatufim also. I just can't believe, I'm filming that, but I'm putting myself somewhere else, so it's never going to work. It's bad. Okay, because we are stepping into October very soon, and it's going to be a year. I remember October 10th, I was giving a class, and it was a very emotional class. Had we told me at that time, you're going to still be praying for the Chatufim almost a year from now, I think we would not have had the strength to hold that in our hearts. Anyways, anybody would like to read a Tehillim? Otherwise, I will read. Okay, so I will start. עוסק בפרק כ' למנצח מזמור לדוד, יענך אדוני בימצרה, ישגבך השם אלוהי יעקב, ישלח עזרך מקודש ומציון יסעדך, יזכור כל מנחותיך ועולתך ידש נסלה, ייתן לך חלבביך וכל עצתך ימלא, נרננה בישועתך ובשם אלוהינו נדגול, ימלא אדוני כל משאלותיך, עתה ידעתי כי יושר אדוני משיחו, יענהו משמי קודשו בגבורות ישע ימינו. אלה ברכב ואלה בסוסים, ואנחנו בשם אדוני אלוהינו נזכיר, המה קראו ונפלו ואנחנו קמנו ונתעודד אדוני יושר המלך יעננו ביום קראנו. So, thank you so much, Becky. I want to introduce a little tiny bit before we start the class, Lehaalot. Lehaalot is an organization for you. It's an organization created for women, for Jewish women, in order for us to reveal our inner light. The idea is that each and every one of us were created with a part of HaKadosh Baruch Hu inside. It's a neshama. And many times we go through life without really encountering that neshama, without even having the time to really dig into ourselves and see who am I really. So after working for Rav Frankfurter, for the French Chabad for some years, I decided to create an organization dedicated to the Jewish women, to help them and to help all of us, me included, because I'm growing through this process, reveal our neshamot, Bezrat Hashem, reveal our lights. And in this journey, I've been joined by other beautiful neshamot. One of them is here tonight with us. Her name is Esther Waknin. Here she is. And Esther joined. She is a wonderful teacher of Torah, and she's a very inspirational woman. And we have also Revital, who will join us during a very special day dedicated to Torah learning for women. It's a day that it's a program called the Midrasha, and the Midrasha is from 9:30 to 3 p.m., 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Women will be able to discover what Torah is through different types of learning. We'll start by awakening our neshamot. We will then go with Revital into deepening our knowledge in Ivrit, in Kriya, in order to own the Siddur and be able to navigate in the prayers, in the daily prayers. For those of us who do not have the chance to get to know that and to grow with the Siddur in our hands, which was the case for me also. And then we will have many inspirational classes. One of them with a wonderful neshama also. Her name is Sarah Benisti. She comes from Montreal also. It's a very cosmopolitan group. And she will be teaching nurturing connections. This class is based on the teaching of the Lubavitcher Rebbe and the Tanya. And it will be a great way for all of us to deepen our connection with ourselves, with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and with the others. And then we'll have Rabbi Abitbol, Rabbi Yitzchak Abitbol, who will be teaching us the laws of Kashrut and Shabbat. So if you are interested in nurturing your neshama, in giving your neshama the food that it needs, you're more than welcome to join us. It will be in Aventura, in an office on the other side of the country club. and I invite you to join us. It will be a beautiful program. It's all free. Those of you who will be good students will get a diploma and a certification at the end of the year. Yes, madam. Why? Because we need to reward ourselves and we need to grow into better versions of ourselves. And this goes through celebrating our milestones. So there is a beautiful celebration at the end. Now, before we go through that new year, we're still in 5784, right? And in 1 week from now, 1 week and 1 day, let's add the truth. Let's say the truth. In 1 week and 1 day from now, we are all invited to a judgment. A very important judgment, because it's the day of the judgment where we're going to be inscribed, written in the book of life or not, right? Some of us feel like, oh my God, like it's so much pressure, it's so scary, what am I gonna do? Imagine, oh, I've been a bad girl this year. What's gonna happen to me at the judgment? The judge is probably going to give me like a very bad grade. I'm gonna be inscribed in the wrong book. What am I gonna do? And some of my friends who were born frum and have grown with that yirat shamayim, with that fear of Hashem, feel like, I've had a lot of my friends who told me like, I feel like I'm frozen, like I don't know what to do. Like when I step into Elul, I'm scared. In 1 month, I'm gonna be judged. And it's funny because I was raised in a very different approach. I fell in love with HaKadosh Baruch Hu little by little. And therefore, for me, the month of Elul is the honeymoon. It's a honeymoon with Hashem. It's the moment where I am going to feel the oneness with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And we were confronting those two aspects. And those two aspects are real. There is a judge. There is a judgment. And one should be not worried. One should be mindful, right, about that. And at the same time, yes, there is also this beautiful romance between a nation, Am Yisrael, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And this is the honeymoon. This is the moment where there is closeness and oneness and almost an intimate relationship between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and us. This is a moment where we can feel that He's here for us. When we arrive at the tribunal, and we did sinned, we did drove recklessly on Collins at 37 miles. It's considered already a reckless driving. And you got a ticket and you're supposed to go to the tribunal to defend your case, right? You're scared, right? Oh my God, I'm gonna get a ticket, $200 right before the Chagim, I really didn't need that. But when you open the door of the tribunal and you see that at the head of the tribunal, your dad is there sitting and he's the judge, how do you feel? I'm so relieved. Baruch Hashem, my dad will judge me with rachmanut, with compassion, with love, right? Usually if he's a good dad, he will judge you favorably. So in the month of Elul, yes, we are celebrating a honeymoon, but we are also reminding ourselves that we are the children of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that Hashem is yes, the judge. He's yes, the king of the kings, the king of the universe. But before all, he's our Father. On Sundays, the last Sunday and next Sunday, Esther Waknin is leading a beautiful class in my house. And if you want to join, you're invited. It's called Navigating Through the Marzor in order of Rosh Hashanah, through the prayer book of Rosh Hashanah, in order to understand how to connect with Hashem on the day of Rosh Hashanah. And Esther was telling us about a beautiful prayer called Avinu Malkeinu. Avinu Malkeinu, which means our Father, our God, our King, right? Kadosh Baruch Hu is, yes, our king, and we have to fear him, but before being our king, he's our father, and he will judge us favorably, right? So I'm not here to scare you. I am here to tell you, yes, there is a judgment. Yes, there are things to do before we get judged. But first of all, we have 8 days in front of us, even though we had 30 days a few months ago, when Anaïs was born on Rosh Chodesh Elul. So Rosh Chodesh Elul is the first day of Elul. This is the day where we really start this new relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And this gives you 30 days. Now, it doesn't matter how many days we have left. Even if it's just 1 day left, we can still do something very important. We can still tell HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you know what? This month of Elul, before a judgment, what do I want to do? I want to know exactly, I want to prepare my case. So I want to know exactly what did I do? What did I do this year? This is a question that we can ask ourselves today. What did you do? Individually, what did you do? And as a nation, what did we do? And that's a question I want to ask ourselves, and we should ask ourselves, what did we do to deserve the treatment we had this year? I think this Rosh Hashanah will not be like any Rosh Hashanah. Because this Rosh Hashanah, we're going to come and we're going to present ourselves in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu with a very heavy heart. I think this Rosh Hashanah is maybe, at least I'm going to speak for myself, and I think for some of you who shared some thoughts with me, I'm going to come to HaKadosh Baruch Hu knowing a little bit more about myself, knowing a little bit more about what a Jew is. Not because I wanted to know, but because I was forced to know. Because whether I had some friends who I was working with, because either I was in a non-Jewish profession, I was maybe like in a hospital working as a doctor, I was, I don't know, a student in a campus. People looked at me differently from October 9th, let's say, 2 days after the massacre. They looked at us differently. Yesterday, a woman from London called me, and she told me, hi, my name is Eve, it's not her name, and I am a Reformed Jew. I said, okay. And she said, I was given your phone number. I'm looking for a Reformed shul. Okay. And I was told you would tell me where I can sit next to my husband in shul. So I laughed because inside I laughed because I have no idea, first of all, where she can sit and next to her husband in shul, really. She's going to move to Bay Harbor Islands. But she told me it's very important for me to do that. But my friend so-and-so from Milano gave me your phone number. So I said, okay, I'm sorry, I have to call you back in a few minutes. I called my friend from Milano. I said, what do you want? Like, you want me to tell her like where she can really find a Reformed shul? I can find it. Or you want me to tell her something else? And I told her, I'm going to tell you something. You come from London. I come from Paris, and I was living also in Milano before. In Europe, and in many places in the world, even maybe in New York, even maybe in Israel, being a Jew is not enough. You have to be a Reformed Jew. You have to be a Sephardi. You have to be, and if you're Sephardi, if you're Tunisian, Moroccan, it's not the same. If you're Ashkenazi, if you're from this town or this town, it's not the same. But there is one thing that I learned this year, and that I learned actually when I moved to Miami, to Surfside in particular, Surfside, Bal Harbor, Bay Harbor, and I think it's the same in Aventura, but I don't live here, so I don't see that as much. I have learned that it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what's your origin. You are my sister. And we are one. There is a sense of Ardut that came out of October 7th, and there is a sense of Ardut that exists here. What is Ardut? Is the fact of being one, right? Is that we are one people, and therefore we belong together. It doesn't matter that you are reformed, not reformed. I said, you know what? I called back this lady and I said, you know, here in Miami, you're going to be surprised. I think you would be very interested in getting to know the communities around you. If you're going to be living in Bay Harbor Islands, of course you're telling me you're a Reformed Jew, but to me, like, you're a Jew. Who cares? You're a Reformed. I'm Sephardi, Orthodox, Moroccan, coming from Algerian, married to a Tunisian. Doesn't matter. I work for Chabad. I work for Ashkenazi Shul. It doesn't matter. We're just one. And this is more important. You want to come with me? I'll take you. I'll show you around the shuls. And if you don't feel welcome, if you feel that you're odd, you feel that you're not part of this group, then I'll show you something that you desire. I think there is Temple Emmanuel in South Beach. I can show you with pleasure, no problem. But why do we want to separate ourselves when we are told by the entire world that we are one and we're all the same, whether you're from this place or this place? You're just a Jew. We're just a Jew because we're distinct. We're distinct from all the other people. Being distinct from any other people because we are an Am Kadosh. Kadosh means to be distinguished. We have been elected with a beautiful mission, and this mission, in the month of Elul, it's time to explore it. It's time to embrace it. It's time to be proud to be a Jew. Because our neshama, the one that we got to know a little bit better this year, the one that we discovered because we were forced by the rest of the people to look into ourselves, to do this introspection, and to say, but why do they hate us? Why do they reject us? Why is there so much lies? Come on, like, this is not a real picture. This is not even from this place. This is from another story in wherever, Syria or Ukraine, and you're putting it over there to make us look bad. Why? Why do you need to put us in this situation, in this place? And then you look in the mirror, right? Because you want to know. You want an answer. So this year, as we approach Rosh Hashanah, I would love for us all to do this introspection. If the nations are placing a mirror in front of us and telling us, you are evil, you are bad, you are this, you are that, why can't HaKadosh Baruch Hu just shed the light, tell the truth about us? Honestly, we don't want anything bad with anyone. What do we want? We just want the world to be lit and to be happy and everything to go back in place, right? In order. For everything to be in order, we have to be at our place. Rosh Hashanah happens on the 1st of Tishri, 1st and 2nd of Tishri, every year. And it's the anniversary of the birth of, not the birth, but the creation of Adam HaRishon. Adam HaRishon, the first human being ever created, right? Adam HaRishon was created with a mission. His mission was to live happily ever after in Gan Eden, the Garden of Eden, right? And he was given this mission that he was allowed to eat from any tree but one tree. The tree that is called the Etz Hadat, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The 1st of Tishri, what happened? We all know that. He ate. Doesn't matter who is responsible for what. He ate from that Etz Hadat, right? This is called a chet, a sin in English. And on that same day, he fell into this world where we are now. He leaves Gan Eden. This is as a consequence of having done this chet, of not respecting what he was supposed to do, or not being where Hashem expected him to be. And he fell into this world. And in this world, the laws are very different from Gan Eden. In this world, man has to work a lot in the field, planting grains and growing them, harvesting them, and grinding them in order to make bread, right? It's not as easy as in Gan Eden. And women have to become pregnant and give birth, and it's painful, and then educate their kids, and it's painful, right? It's a very different way. Why did we do that? HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when Adam HaRishon fell in this world, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, who is almighty, is going to ask Adam one question. Ayeka, where are you? So obviously he knows where he is. He fell into this world. He's not in Gan Eden anymore. Why is Hashem asking Adam, Ayeka, where are you? Because, says the Baal HaTanya, because Hashem wants to know where Adam is at with the mission he gave him. I was expecting you in Gan Eden, respecting a certain destination, a certain law, a mitzvah I gave you, not to eat from that tree. And what did you do? A chet. What is a chet? You missed your target, right? David HaMelech in the Tehillim says, I missed my target with my bow and arrow. This is called a chet. A chet is missing your destination. You were supposed not to eat that, and you ate that. Okay, now I'm going to give you an example. Imagine that I'm going to New York, right, for the holidays. But there is a problem with the plane, and the plane lands in Boston. My friend who's hosting me in New York calls me and says, "Hey, Esther, what happened? Where are you? Ayeka, where are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm in Boston." She says, "Okay, you're in Boston. Now come to New York. Are you going to stay the entire vacation in Boston?" "No, I can take a plane and go to New York." When we do a chet, we always have the opportunity to go back to our destination. How do we say that in Hebrew? Shuv. Coming back, turn around, go back to your destination. In the month of Elul, we have that possibility to do teshuvah, to go back, to return to where Hashem was expecting us to be. And that's why on Rosh Hashanah, Hashem is going to tell us, Ayeka, where are you? Where are you at with your destination? And what is your destination? Yourself. What's your Hebrew name? Corinne Bat. What's your name? Bat Leah. Where have you been, Corinne Bat Leah, this year? Have you been, what's your Hebrew name? Dana Batova. Have you been? That's a question we have to ask ourselves. Have I been Esther Bat Sarah this year? You know what? It's an amazing gift that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is giving me. Right now. Every single year, He's judging us. What is that? Why is that a gift? Because at 120, we are going to have a last judgment. The final judgment, because our neshama will be separated from this goof, from this body, and therefore there will be no more mitzvah I can do. There will be no more action. It's just a pure neshama going back to its creator. But when the neshama meets the creator, at the last judgment, what happens? The creator is going to ask me, for instance, my little Esther, have you been Esther Bat Sarah? I'm going to say, of course I've been Esther Bat Sarah. Who else was I? And he's going to show me the video of my life. Oh my God, woof! I found so many excuses that nothing of that happened that I forgot. Yeah, it's true. That's the life I've lived. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to tell me, wait, you think it was cute? Wait, rega. Take a seat, my love, because now I'm going to show you the video of the life you could have had you been Esther Bat Sarah. And now I'm going to see, wow, I could have succeeded in this. I could have had perfect, like Shalom Bayit. I could have succeeded in never getting angry at my kids, and they would have been so serene and happy and this and that. I could have done all that? Really? Yes, this was your potential life. And the gap between the life that you lived and the potential you could have lived, this is called Gehinam. This feeling of frustration because you can't go back in your body in order to act now. Because of that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves us so much. He said, I'm not going to wait, she's on 120, to judge her. Every single year. On Rosh Hashanah, I'm going to tell her, hey, Ayeka, where are you at with the mission I gave you? Every single year. You know, when I was a little girl, I was going into a public school in Paris, and every trimester we had what we call in French conseil de classe. How do you say that in English? I don't know, but it's like parent-teacher conference, let's say, but without the parents. It's just like they just judge you on your notes and stuff, and then your parents get the report, right? And honestly, it was very scary because every trimester you would get the report. But you know what? This report would enable us to go back to the right direction. Because honestly, even if I had the best intention in September to have only grade A's all through the year, maybe I could have been misguided by the fun parties in school, by dance after school, by this, by that. You can get drifted away from your destination. You want to be a perfect student, but there's so much things to do in life, right? If every trimester you don't have the opportunity to make a statement, to do an introspection, and to check, am I on the right path to go to my destination? Then you never get to your destination. So Rosh Hashanah is a gift. It's a gift. It enables us to realize, am I on the right path? But before that, I need to remember, what is my destination? And again, it's you, nobody else. And Rabbi Nachman Mibretzlev says that the day you were born is the day that HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided that this world we live in cannot exist without Corinne Bat Leah. Cannot exist without you, Dana. Cannot exist. Everyone who is here today, if you were not here, God forbid, the world would stop working. Why? Because you own a piece of the puzzle that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to bring to life. You own that piece. And how chaval is it, how a shame is it if you don't bring that piece to the puzzle? We all have that mission in life. So in the month of Elul, it's time for us to look at ourselves, to look at the direction we're taking, and not to blame ourselves. This is not the Torah way. We don't need to kind of flagellate. How do you say? I don't know how we say in English. We don't need to punish ourselves, right? What do we need to do? Ask Hashem for forgiveness. And if, for instance, I need to work on my anger, right? What should I do? I screamed at my kids. have to go and say, oh, you know what? I'm sorry I screamed like that. This is how we do teshuvah. First, we recognize what happened. Second, we ask forgiveness. If it impacted a human being, then you have to ask for forgiveness to that human being. And then to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And then if you're sincere and you regret and you don't want to do it, you become a betula. You become a virgin again. You've never sinned. And that's why the mazal of Elul is betula. To remind ourselves, this is the perfect moment to become pure again. I don't want you to stay in Boston when you can be in New York where you're expected to be. Come back. You just ask me and I'll give you a ticket to come back. Straight away. And with love. Because in the month of Elul, the Baal HaTanya teaches us that Hameler Basadeh, the king is in the field. What does it mean, the field? Am I in the field? I'm not in the field. I live in Surfside, I see the beach, I am in my car, I am in my kitchen, I am everywhere but in the field. Right? So when am I going to meet the Melech, the king, Hashem? The field, if we transpose to those olden days, is the place where we have our daily routine, our daily life. When I am driving the carpool, when I am cooking in my kitchen, when I am ironing, when I am working in my office, this is the field. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is next to me. During the year, he is there also, but he is sitting on his kisei hakavod. He's busy on in his palace, in his throne of glory. Now, he stepped out of his palace, and he is holding your hand every step of the way. Elul also stands for the acronym of Ani Ledodi, Vedodi Li. Aleph, Lamed, Vav, Lamed. This is a beautiful verse of the poem written by Shlomo HaMelech that says, I am to my beloved, and my beloved is to me. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is there for us. The beloved is Am Yisrael. The beloved is us. Each and every one of us. We are Hashem's beloved. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Have you ever had a broken heart? Have you ever loved someone and that person didn't love you back? This is horrible. This feeling of wanting to offer your love to someone, but that person doesn't even see you, doesn't even notice you. This is so heartbreaking. So today, Anaïs and Revital offered us to create a keli. I want to invite you also to create a keli for Hashem's love. Because Hashem came basadeh. He came to the field. He came to our daily lives in order to offer us His love. He just wants to love us. But in order to receive, we have to create a kli. We have to create a container to make space for His love in our lives. When do I make space for Hashem in my life? When do I do that? Do I make time for Him? Do I make time to feel His presence? Because, imagine this scenario where a boy is deeply in love with a girl and he comes to her and he's about to prepare to propose, right? And he goes like that in front of her and he opens the box with a ring. And she says, "Oh, hi!" And she goes to somebody else. Whoa! How horrible it is! Poor guy! His heart is broken. In the month of Elul, when we don't make the time to feel Hashem, to try to see Him, to try to recognize His presence, to try to feel, to be sensitive to His presence, we are just like this potential fiancé who just ignored his gift. So if there is one thing I want to invite you to do today, is to make that space. Try those next 8 days, because sometimes we're like, okay, I want to arrive to Rosh Hashanah prepared. What can I do? You know what you can do? You can try to open your 6 senses. 5 that you know, and the last one is that connects your neshama. And try to feel Hashem. Try to see Him. Try to hear the messages of love that you receive from people, but that really come from Hashem. A compliment, an encouragement, something nice. This doesn't come for nothing. This is a message from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that He loves you. Don't ignore Him. Listen to those words. Listen to those simanim, to those signs. Be sensitive to Him. Look at His greatness. Sit. We live in a beautiful place. We live in a place where we can see the sunset. Have you ever observed the colors of the sunset? Be romantic. It's your honeymoon. Sit and look at the sky. Ah, Marabu Marasecha Hashem. It's so beautiful, Hashem. Hashem made it just for you. Just for you. This is a gift to you. And every single day, you pass in front of Him, kneeling down, opening His ring, and you don't even see. We don't even see. Feel Him. Feel His caress, His hug, His kisses. Every day, make this effort for 5 minutes. Each and every morning, you wake up a little bit earlier. That's why the Sephardim, we do the Selichot from Rosh Chodesh Elul, early in the morning. You know why? Because this is the time when only are awake the mommy who nursed her baby, right? And the lovers who want to enjoy 1 more minute together. The husband and the wife who wake up hand in hand and are so happy to say Modani together. This is how we should enjoy this last week. Not by being scared, not by being traumatized by whatever we have done. Oh my God, if you knew Hashem, He knows. He just wants to hug you and kiss you and tell you how much He loves you so much. But to receive His love, you just have to make space for Him. That's it. So you have created beautiful kelim, and now I invite you to create a spiritual kelim for you and your beloved. And I'm sure that this year you will arrive in Rosh Hashanah knowing that I'm confident. I know that my King, Hashem, I'm crowning Him that day, and He will write me in the book of His favorite. Right? Because you will have worked on this relationship, and you will have felt His true love for you. So I thank you so much for tonight, for listening. And Revital and Anaïs, I don't know if you would like to say a few words. If you have any questions, do you have any questions? Baruch Hashem. You have a question? Sorry? Go, Avita, tu veux dire une question? Non? Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. I wish you a Shana Tova Umetuka and enjoy, and we should have a beautiful year with Bezrat Hashem, only good news for Olam Israel. And I know that Revital loves to sing. I would love to start. What song would you like to sing together? Can we come up? Come, we'll do a circle. You okay with that? Come up. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת
אחיות, גם אחיות.
אחיות גם יחד. הנה מה טוב.
That was so beautiful. I hope to see you soon.
Merci toi, Shana Tova. Amen.
שבת אחיות, גם יחד.
הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת
אחיות,
גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחיות מנחת. הנה מה טוב שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב שבת אחיות גם יחד.
עם ישראל חי. עם ישראל חי.
ביום ובלילות גם בשעות הכי קשות והקדוש ברוך הוא שומר עלינו אז מי יכול עלינו יש לנו עוד מדינה נעשה שלום בינינו נשמור על ילדינו עם ישראל חי עם ישראל חי. Now I want to invite you. טובה
לבנות גיבור.
שנה טובה
אבא.
שנה טובה
לך אמא. שנה
טובה
שנה.
טובה. I think we have the cake, right? We have,
So I wanted just to invite, we have a birthday cake for her.
but before, because we all own a little piece of HaKadosh Baruch Hu within each and every one of us, I'm going to ask you to hug each other and to feel the hug. Thank you.
You spoke so nicely.
Really?
Yeah, except one thing.
Thank
You said
you.
punish, you go punish, and you said flatulate. Do you know
Flatulate?
flatulate?
Really? When did I say flatulate?
To punish, or like you want to punish?
Castigate. Flatulate. Repeat. I know what fart is. You always try to get me on the words.
I love it.
No, I was
They're pretty
castigate.
because you matched the background.
Yeah.
This was nice, no?
Yeah. Very
Look at
cute.
you.
Merci.
You spoke so nicely. I'm gonna go home.